Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, human beings of all ages, welcome to Vibrations with Vito. I am your host, Vito. Episode 56. Terrible week, not gonna lie. But it all goes away when I get behind this mic, behind the camera, and I get to talk to you. So, today's DMX Day. Every year, April 7th, we always celebrate DMX Day. Since 2019 is a day that I met the dog and I was blessed with his presence, and I'll never forget it. Good thing it's recorded. Even I would never forget it, but it's on camera, and I'll include it in the beginning. If you're watching this right here, if you're just listening on Instagram, Vibrations with Vito is the latest post. It's on. It's not on TikTok. It's just on Instagram right now. And it's on my Twitter, Vito Laduca. But so check it out. The message of the week is brought to you by the dog DMX. And he's a prolific guy. In my opinion, he is the greatest rapper of all time. Obviously, it's an opinion, Some people might not share that, but that's how I feel. So the message is, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. Only believe half of what you see. I think that's relevant in my life because the older I'm getting, I'm understanding the last part. Only believe half of what you see. Nowadays, there's a lot of fake, artificial stuff on the internet. And now I'm more mature. I'm like, the first thought is like, is that real? And I doubt it like right away. So only believe half of what you see. Read between the lines, see the fake shit. Ooh, another quote. See through the fake shit and sniff out the bullshit from a mile away. So put your smile away. So look, just like that, I said terrible week. Now I'm feeling good. I'm joined by a good friend of mine. He's a very intelligent man, very wise man, a funny man. He's got probably top 5 best beards in the whole country. The one and only Richie Donatelli.
Wow. What an introduction.
How you doing?
I feel honored to be here on this prestigious podcast.
I appreciate you.
Sit where so many beautiful people sat and talked with you.
Right.
It's amazing to be here.
Honestly, so were you born in Northeast?
I was born in the Northeast.
So back to 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
I had Danny, 2 Lutzes.
2 Lutzes.
And a Donatelli. There you go.
They're basically my family, so it's appropriate.
100%. Let's get right to the pour, and then we'll get into your whole. I got you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
But it's my show. I'll pour you up. You're a white wine kind of guy.
Definitely a white wine kind of guy.
First time I ever had what was it called? Red Cat, Big Cat, Red Cat.
Red Cat.
Yeah, that was with you.
Yeah.
And I thought like that was your favorite. I was gonna grab it, but I was like, you know what? He said white. Let's do what he likes. So.
I do like Red Cat, but I can't even think you consider that a red wine. It's more of a white wine. It's so sweet.
Yeah,
it's barely even a wine.
Right. Before we get to the pour, we got to shout out the sponsors. The one and only Laduca Pizza. Best pizza in Brooklyn, New York. All in New York, but specifically Brooklyn. The phone number is 718-859-1501. 718-859-1501. The address is 14 Newkirk Plaza. Obviously, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to I'm always shouting out the guys, my cousins, but I gotta shout out the ladies, their wives. Two of them are married.
They deserve it.
That's right. So shout out to Vito's wife, Francesca, and shout out to Sal's wife, Filomena. And shout out to little girls. We got Michaela and Luciana. Shout out to everybody. In the whole, all the Laducas, while we're at it,
Every Laduca. Every last one of them.
That's right. Shout out to Donatellis.
Absolutely. All of them. There's a lot of them out there, too.
And the Lutzes. Put your volume up. Time for the pour. For you.
It's amazing. Thank you.
You're amazing.
A beautiful pour.
Did I get a little lift on it, you know?
You're a master at it.
This is 56,
That's someone who's done 56 pours right there.
Welcome to the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. I think it's appropriate to start. So, but right before we were about to start, we were going to start a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
We had a very minor technical difficulty that I thought was going to be a major one.
It was close.
Oh, it was real close. The lights in here shut off, and we didn't know why. and I didn't really do anything different.
Nope.
And they just decided to work. So hopefully, knock on wood, we can get through this with no problems. But it would make for some funny content, I think, if it shuts off. We will do the rest of the pod in the dark.
Yeah, if the video gets dark all of a sudden, you
know
guys
why.
know what happened.
Yeah, you know what happened. It's good to get that out of the way, so, they're not like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we're good. So, we met in maybe one of the darkest, strangest times in American history. No, I'm not talking about the Great Depression. I am talking about COVID, the pandemic.
Yeah.
Did we meet before that?
Were you ever at our old apartment on Red Lion?
No.
No? Then we might not have met before.
Right. So we met at home.
Definitely at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't think because Greg was asking me, he's like, you met him at home? And I was like, I think
Yeah.
I may have seen you before, when I was real young and I was with Greg and then you were with Chris. But I don't know. But so definitely we met at home when you were living with the Lutzes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what a time.
What a time. What a house.
Yeah, super great time. Still, but
a
you're
great
just
time.
not there anymore, so it's like we gotta see each other somewhere else.
That's true.
So you are Chris's best friend, or one of his best friends?
Yes, I consider him my best friend. I've known him basically since I was born.
Aw.
Fresh out the womb.
He
was my next door neighbor.
Nice.
And then his brother was my brother's best friend. So
so it was
it's just
destined.
like family relations. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's great. And you went to the same high school?
We did not go to the same high school.
Oh, where did you go to high school?
I went to Roman Catholic.
Oh.
I mean,
Boo.
basketball's great. Basketball great. Pretty sure they won the Catholic League championship this year and almost the state champion. They might have won the state championship too.
Okay. Well, I hope they didn't. Fun fact about Roman. Well, not Roman, but my junior year of high school, we played them at their home field, which wasn't their home field. It was like it was their neutral field. It was a neutral field, but it was their home field. So we played under the lights. It was a big deal. They were supposed to beat the dog shit out of us. And it was like maybe 3 minutes left of the game, regular time. And I scored probably the craziest goal I've ever scored in my entire life. I let the ball, it was looped over from the left side all the way over. I didn't even think it was going to get to me because the defender was so tall. It skimmed over his head, landed right on my foot, and I blasted a volley off the top of the crossbar. Boom.
That's amazing.
And where this field was, there was stands. So, I felt like a professional player for just a split second because everyone was going, ah! They were going crazy. I remember,
amazing.
And I let out, I'm not going to say it, I let out the F word so loud. I didn't say let's go. I just went, nah! I screamed at the top of my lungs. I got mauled. The game went into overtime, and it finished in a tie. It went to double overtime, and then for some reason, it was a regular season game, so it didn't go to PKs or anything. But it ended as a tie, which for us was a huge, they were supposed to walk over us. And we walked out of there with a tie, which was a big deal. But I scored the tying goal. Oh,
was
amazing.
that the best goal of your footballing career?
Probably. Specifically for the time. It was a game-saving goal. I don't think I've ever scored anything like that. Like a volley. Especially the height of the game.
Right.
If I missed that, we just lost the game.
That's a difficult shot. A little half volley coming in.
Yes. Oh, I didn't think it was going to get to me. And I honestly didn't think I was prepared to hit it. And it hit my foot so sweetly. Shout out to my right foot. But okay, so that's my Roman story.
That's amazing.
So you did you play basketball at Roman?
I did not. I actually went to freshman year. They had the group meeting where everybody can go in before they have tryouts.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I was like, yep, I am not the caliber player of the rest of the people in here.
Fair.
And then I rationed it out. I was like, I'm going to have to be downtown for practice and stuff. I was like, it's better if I just play CYO. I was like...
And then you balled out there,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I balled out for CYO.
Yeah. You got a sweet jumper.
I do.
Yeah.
My three-point game is underrated. And
That's right.
I'm a great passer if I don't say so myself.
I agree. You got the James Harden kind of feel.
Yeah.
3 and dimes,
Yeah. People see me and they don't expect the athletic prowess to come out of me. I'm a hidden gem on the court.
But you got it. Great. Shit. Let me take a sip of wine for a second. Do you like this? It's Pinot Grigio.
I do like Pinot Grigio.
Good.
That's probably my favorite.
Right. Well, it's classic. You can't.
Yeah, no.
I never had this specific brand. The people that listen and watch, they know. We don't talk about the brands because they don't pay us yet.
Right.
Maybe a good approach is to shout one out
Yeah.
and
can
hope,
see, yeah.
but not this one.
Not this
Because this is the first time I'm buying it. My go-to, I might shout them out and DM them or something. When I had the wild cock, they didn't reach back. So I'm like, okay, I'm not getting that one ever again. But and it's local. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's I think if I remember correctly, my sister said it's like borderline New Jersey, PA. I think it's Jersey though. I'm not sure. She's gonna correct me. She'll text me and be like, it's in PA. Whatever. Yeah. So you grew up in Northeast.
I grew up in the Northeast.
Grew up next to the Lutz family.
Right next to the Lutz family.
Gotta love
until
it.
they moved across the street.
Was it really across the street?
Yeah, it was literally, you go out our back steps and it was across the street. They were maybe 30 more feet away.
I wonder why they did that.
They were always hopping around. Both of us, huge families, tons of kids just running around.
Right. All boys, too.
All boys. Well, I have one sister. I have two sisters. One's older and she didn't live with us.
Okay.
And then my younger sister. And then they have their younger sister now. Their family's basically set up the exact same way as
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's great. That's the big families, I think, are the way to go. Because everyone's like, most of the time, they're all like very close together. And you are, out of your brothers, are you the second oldest? Or
I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to all your brothers. One thing about you and your brothers that confuses the shit out of me is you all support different soccer teams.
Correct.
How does that happen?
I think it started out with straight up FIFA. Like, we all just picked teams in FIFA, and that was our teams. And then the way in our household goes is, besides the Philly teams, if somebody else has a team, you just want to compete against them.
Right.
So no way you're like supporting the same team. Okay. I'll bet on their teams if my team's not playing them, and I'll cheer for their teams. But if they're going up against Arsenal, they're going down.
Right. I mean, that's a good formula. I just don't know how, like, you all support Premier League teams, and for people that don't know, that's the teams in England, club teams in England. My family, we support Inter, that they play in Italy. But sometimes we will play each other, like when we play in the Champions League or the Europa League, whatever European competition it is. So your team is in prime position.
Prime position. What a year. What a year.
You would have to choke at this point to lose it.
Yeah, there's still a couple vital games. They play Man City at least one more time.
Right.
So the way that Man City set up, I'm still not comfortable with the lead we have, but I'm starting to believe.
It's like, what, 8-point lead?
I think an 8, maybe 6.
Okay.
And we might have a game in hand on them.
Even better.
Yeah.
Okay. I have faith that you're going to do it.
I do too.
This would be the first time you've won the Premier League since 2004.
Yeah, I want to say maybe the Invincible team.
Yeah, it had to be, right?
I think so.
2003, 2004 season?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's long overdue.
Very long overdue.
It's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's probably the first time since I really started supporting them. Like, the Invincibles was right before my, like, fanship really started.
That's fair.
So, yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to say it now.
I appreciate it. I hope that doesn't jinx it. Well, knock on wood.
No, right. We'll just do that, So I had a guest on here who supports Liverpool, Pat McCarthy.
Right.
Your brothers know him, or they played on
played on the same soccer. Shout out Loose Cannons.
Loose Cannons. There you go. I was trying to find the name. Couldn't do it. Loose Cannons. Yeah, so Pat was a part of that. Shout out to Pat. Speaking of Pat, him and his wife, they just welcomed their 4th child into the world.
Amazing.
Aiden. So congratulations to the McCarthy family. Good dad. So keep it up, Pat. But, got to give it up to Arsenal this year. I think a little golf clap.
Yeah, golf clap for Arsenal.
Before we hijack this all about sports, the last thing I want to say about soccer is I am so disappointed in my Inter.
It's tough. It's been a tough weekend. That didn't help.
A week? Well, for sure. Yeah. This did not help. So we scored in the first 6 minutes of the game. Gozens back on track. Played great. Up 1-0. We let a shit team tie the game in the very last minute of the game.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. That's the worst.
Yeah. And it was a... Dude definitely went to cross it. And Onana read it as a cross. And somehow ended up in the net.
It's the worst. They weren't even trying to score.
He was not. And it was Condreva who used to play for Inter. So it was a little insult to injury. But, it was so bad. We have not won a league game since March 5th. It's April 7th. And now we got the Champions League coming up on Tuesday. And I'm starting to think that's the only way we can qualify for the Champions League next year, as if we win the Champions League this year. And I don't see that happening.
Your thoughts are start devote all the effort to the Champions League now?
Because right now we're in 5th place.
Yeah, Napoli's just running away with it.
Oh, there's no chance we win the league. I've said that a bunch of episodes ago. But top 4 is crucial.
Yes.
You got to stay top 4 if you're a serious team. And on paper, I would say we have the best roster. And just this year has been brutal. Like, every game, I'm like, oh, like now, I'm like, oh, Inter plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had that feeling since, like, 2015, 16, where we were, like, starting to be serious again. But, like, you know, I'd be like, oh, we play Juve or something, and it'd be like, oh, I'm expecting a tough game. Every game now, even when we play these weaker opponents, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So, on Tuesday, April 11th, we play Benfica, and Benfica is a very tough team. We play them in their home stadium, so I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. So, I want to say Forza Inter because it's in my heart, but I don't know, man.
We're going to say Forza Inter. We're going to keep the vibrations positive, and we're going to send those to Inter.
We need it. Yeah, you're right. So, what I like is you support Inter, and I support Arsenal. I really do. I think they're probably my favorite Premier League team if I had one.
I mean, the way they're playing right now,
even before. Before.
They're kind of like Inter, where in their heyday, when I first started supporting them, they were just repeat top 4 team, always Champions League.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and then the last few years just fell off a little bit.
Right.
But this year is just another rise, and I didn't see it coming, and I'm just enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, good, great. Well, let's keep it going. When they do win, I'll make sure I shout you out here on this.
I appreciate
on this platform. I want to get back to how we met real quick because that was in a weird time. The pandemic was extremely terrible in the beginning.
It was.
I work in a nursing facility, so in the beginning of the pandemic, it was hectic, and I was, like, genuinely scared.
Yeah.
And I didn't hang out with a lot of people at all because I was like, I never know. Like, you might have it or you might have it. And then I'm, like, probably the first few times I was exposing myself to anyone else was at home.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of met you.
Yeah.
I'll say kind of because I might have met you before.
I think we did meet before because that was only like my last year there. And I feel like I've met you before that.
Probably.
Moved out. Yeah.
And
those were some trying times. Yeah,
yeah, they were. We had fun though.
Yeah. You were one of the first people to come and hang out at our house after that happened.
Love it.
Nobody was going out and doing anything.
We had a lot of fun. We were playing Mario Kart a lot. We were.
So, I have Snapchats from the beginning of the pandemic, and things were just weird.
Yeah.
We were pushing the tables out of the way and playing ping pong in there, just doing anything we could to keep moving.
Me and Chris were talking about it. We remember a specific conversation on his front porch, your front porch. We were talking about like how serious we think this might be. Is it gonna be? How long is it gonna last? You guys were saying you thought you had COVID before COVID was a thing.
Yeah, I thought that New Year's Eve, going into 2020, I was one of the sickest. Actually, when the ball dropped, I was in a basement bathroom throwing up somewhere.
Is that because you were hammering or?
No, I had barely anything to drink. And it was just my stomach. I couldn't keep anything down.
Damn.
And then the whole next day, I went down to the parade still, tried to tough it out. And same thing. The only thing I could keep down was Jack Daniels. I was just sipping on Jack Daniels straight. It was, yes, thank you.
That's nasty. I don't like Jack Daniels at all.
And that's what, when COVID started up, we were like, that, because after I had it, then it went through the whole house.
Yeah.
And we thought we were patient zeros in Philadelphia out here.
You might have been. Honestly,
we might have been.
Yeah, you just didn't test. But, you obviously, what the, recouped. That's the word I'm looking for. Do you think anything good came out of the pandemic? Like anything for the public? Any positive that you could bring back from it or not really?
I'm sure there was like a few things, but I would say that cons way outnumbered the pros.
Oh, they do, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only positive I would say is that me personally, I've been more cautious of like touching things.
Yeah, I bet you multiple people now wash their hands a lot better than they used to before that.
I agree entirely, me included.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I did it a lot before, but now if I touch if I go to Wawa and I open the door, I'm like, before I touch my phone or my face, let me wash my hands
True.
and go from there. Something I think I'll do for a while is before I pump my gas now, I have a glove on. So I got clowned before.
Okay.
I got clowned before at a gas station. Like somebody was like, "You for real?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I am."
I am.
And so I don't want to touch. Because think about how many people pump gas all day.
True. There's true.
Hundreds, thousands, maybe. I don't
You're not
want-
lying. I don't. And they probably never wash the handles on a gas
Right,
thing.
they might touch their ass and then touch the. Yeah, I don't want no doo doo. You know, I can't do it.
You know.
So that's something I take away. I'm just more cautious about when I touch stuff. I guess that's the only positive I'll say. But I didn't know if like you had anything
Yeah,
different.
I would. The only thing I can think of is things got more available, like delivery service wise.
Oh yeah.
And be able to get stuff from your house. But I mean, there's kind of that, and not being have to go out and see people as much. People
Right.
become more isolated now.
Right, they're comfortable with the isolation. That was something I actually loved, where nobody like wanted to go out. There wasn't the pressure like on a Friday night, like, "Hey, we're going to the city." It's like, we're all staying in.
Nobody's doing anything, and that's completely acceptable. Maybe you Zoom someone, and that's about it.
A big con is that there's a great Chinese restaurant down the street, and they don't do dine in anymore at all.
No, just straight takeout.
That's it. And
that's wild.
The part of that I loved about this place, it was the ambiance in there. Like you're in there, and I felt like I was in Japan.
That's amazing.
Did I say Chinese? I did.
You did.
I think they're Japanese. Whatever.
Some kind of Asian cuisine.
So it is. There's the name, and then Asian is at the So I don't know where, but it's an Asian joint. Let me say that. And you can't even eat in there anymore. So that doesn't make me want to get it anymore, because it took away the whole experience.
Yeah. I will say I had to work the whole time. I didn't get any. There was maybe like 2 days where they let us stay home, and then I had to go in. That was the best traffic period. Getting to work was magical.
Yeah.
I have a like 45-minute commute now. It was maybe 20 minutes back then.
Yeah, it was the same for me. So I was in healthcare, so like I had to go. I was considered what was the word they were using? I can't even think
Essential.
straight. Yeah, there you go. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm having there's so many things in my head right now. I was considered essential. So like I had to go. Usual 15 minutes of work took me. I would get there in 6 minutes. I was like, this is great. I can leave so much later now. So yeah, that was it. The traffic and delivery services, I guess.
Yeah, that's what we got.
God. Oh Lord.
What a time.
Yeah.
I remember like around Greg's birthday, and I was like, there's no way they let this go past the summer. People want to go out to like the summer bars and stuff, and sure enough, almost. I
remember being a fool and thinking that the heat was gonna help.
I mean, a lot of people thought that. The sun was just gonna come out and just wipe it out all.
No virus. The sun melted it all away. I just thought of this. So on my way here from work, I was behind an SUV, a BMW, and we're at a light, and all of a sudden, passenger just rolls down his window and tosses like a big object out of the window. And I'm like, what? You can't like leave it in the car for a few more minutes and then throw it out where? So I let out a long beep. No reaction. Like I didn't see like them look in the rear view. Yeah. Nothing. And then they decided late that they were going to make a left turn. So I went behind them because now there's oncoming traffic. They had to wait. And what I did is I rolled down my window, stopped, gave them the finger, held it. Looked him in his
dramatic effect.
Looked him in his eye and then drove away. So
I think he got the message.
I think he got the message as well, but that pissed me off because just leave it in your car.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, something it could have waited.
Yeah. There's rare things that people throw out, like maybe a banana peel, something that's gonna like decompose on the road or something.
Right.
That's what someone actually, when I turned on the one road right up from your street, somebody threw something out the window, but it looked like pieces of a lemon or something. I could not tell what it was.
So that's fair.
Like, yeah.
An ant will eat that or something. It'll be fine. Oh man, that shit really pissed me off because
I hate that.
Right in front of my face. Anyone's face. Why are you doing that? We all live here.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, on my way here, I was behind a pickup truck, and the decal on the back window of the pickup truck was Jesus carrying a cross. And I was like, what an appropriate decal for Good Friday.
Right.
It's like,
what did you tell me before you got here? You said about Good Friday. What did you say?
I said, we're going to make this Good Friday a great Friday.
That's right.
And that's the vibes for vibration.
Yes. Right, Easter's approaching. Shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, resurrected from the dead.
Shout out.
Yeah. Any plans for Easter? What are you doing? Anything?
I'm going to go to my parents' house for dinner.
Nice.
That's about all I have planned right now. Arsenal plays Liverpool.
Hey, now.
It's gonna be a big game.
Big game. Sorry, Pat.
Yeah, sorry, Pat. Sorry, JT.
Your brother likes Liverpool.
Yeah. That's why I was going to wear the shirt that like his benefit was from, but I was like, I can't be repping Liverpool on the pod.
Yeah, don't do it.
No,
I'm glad. Did you give up anything for Lent? Or are you past the age where you do that?
I kind of, like, I was trying to give up something and I couldn't think what to give up, so I just...
Didn't.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Do you eat meat on Fridays, or do you try to not
I
do that
avoid eating meat still. Like,
Good.
I don't blame people for not eating meat or anything, but it's just so ingrained in me at this point. I feel like my mom's going to scold me if I eat meat on Friday. So.
I agree. Okay, good. So I religiously do that as well. I did give up coffee, and
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's just it's such a staple of the morning. Not that, like, listen, if there was a day I don't go without coffee, normally if it's not Lent, it's fine. I don't use it for energy purposes. Like, I'm naturally like an energetic person. I just a warm beverage in the morning is good, and I'm not drinking tea.
Right.
I'm not drinking tea at all. I don't like tea in the slightest. So I gave up coffee because, I wanted to challenge myself. So I went from drinking a beverage in the morning to just a mouthful of water to make sure I'm not dehydrated.
There you go.
And I just sit and watch my George Lopez before I go to work.
That's all you need.
That's it.
Because I'm not a coffee guy anyway. I'm straight H2O in the morning.
Good. Yeah, you're real good with the water.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water.
I've been slacking on my water intake, though. I have to bump it up. I used to be really, really good. Lately, like, I only drink, like, one bottle at work. It has to be at least 2 or 3 bottles, I feel like.
Okay. I was told to ask you about this. So, true or false? Was your mother an Eagles cheerleader?
That's a true statement. She was an Eagles cheerleader.
That's amazing.
Yes.
What year was she an Eagles cheerleader? Multiple?
I think multiple years. I never got too in depth with her because she also worked in the ticket office down there. I think that was after her cheerleading days, but I would believe it was back in like the Ron Jaworski days.
Okay.
That's what that was always the joke.
Okay.
So
okay.
Once people find out that my mom's an Eagles cheerleader, there's usually some jokes about it, but I think it was awesome that she was
we're
an
not
Eagles
making
cheerleader.
jokes here. That's
joke.
awesome.
We're just for the birds.
Yeah, go birds. No, seriously, that's awesome though. Honestly, like, I'm not trying to clown you or make a joke. That's pretty cool because that's a cool thing to say. I used to lie to kids in school and say Paul Duca was my uncle. And they would buy it, and I'd be like, "Yeah, it's my dad's brother." Just keep it like that. But so that was a lie, though.
Yeah.
So if you were like, "Yeah, my mom's an Eagles cheerleader,"
yeah, that's as we were growing up. When I went to grade school, she wasn't my kindergarten teacher, but then she started teaching kindergarten at the grade school that we went to.
Oh. So
that's how, like, everybody knew her as then.
Okay.
And then eventually I found out, she was also an Eagles cheerleader.
Damn.
She's a woman of many hats.
True.
Yeah.
Never your teacher, though. Any
Never
of your
my
brothers?
teacher. She did substitute for a couple times.
Okay.
I think she was my sister's kindergarten teacher. But I don't know if she was my younger brother's. I don't think so.
How would you have felt if she was your teacher? Would you have felt awkward or no?
I always felt a little awkward whenever she substituted. I mean, I don't know why, because everybody knew she was my mom and everything. But I was just a strange kid back then.
Why you do that?
Because I used to throw like temper tantrums and stuff all the time.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I used to like run out of the classroom. Then I would just go to my mom's classroom and hang out in there. Yeah,
help me. If it makes you feel any better, every single day of kindergarten, I cried.
I mean,
for like, let's say
a lot of kids do.
Not in my class. I was the only one. Let's say I guess, were they 8-hour days? I don't even know. They had to be, right? So let's say there were 8-hour days. I cried for probably like 6.5. And then just like those last...
Yeah, you get to nap time, you take a nap.
I was like, I'm going to see my mom when I get home.
Is this all right?
That was all it was. Like, it was as soon as she would drop me off, I'd be like, I can't believe she's leaving me here.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, I had friends, like, I liked the kids in my...
Right.
I was like, my mom. Oh, brutal. I actually reached out to my kindergarten teacher.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want her to come on the pod.
That would be amazing.
She says she's about it.
You have phenomenal guests on this pod, I'll tell you.
Thank you. I do want to get like more people that I don't have the best relationship with. Like me and you, I know, I'm very comfortable with you.
Yeah.
And so like it's easy to talk to you. But I want to branch out to get people that I don't really have a close relationship with. And,
Yeah.
you know, we could have a good conversation. Like when I had Susan on, I love Susan, but I didn't know much about Susan at all. I know what she's about. She's she's a pastor, and I'm a man of God, so I was like, this will be great. We'll push out some real positive stuff. So I do want to get more guests like that. So I appreciate you saying that.
It's quite the diverse selection.
And we gotta keep it diverse,
Right?
you know. So we got a man with the best beard in the county. That's for sure.
I don't know how I follow up pastors, NFL players, but I got a beard and I'm here to rock it.
Here we are. Fun fact: I messaged Lavoy Allen a while ago, and he answered.
Process Sixer legend.
He answered me. We had a conversation, and it just never came to fruition. I might follow up because I think when I messaged him, I probably had like 30 subscribers or something.
Yeah.
And he probably checked and was like, "All right." I mean, I don't have the biggest following, but it's grown, and now we're on multiple platforms, so maybe. But that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
It would just be fun for me to just... Because like you said, he was part of the process.
Yeah.
And he's a local. Like, he was around here. He went to high school around here. So, like, nuts. So, we got to keep these crazy guys going. Yeah. So I do want to get my kindergarten teacher on. And I want to ask her, because what was it like to deal with me?
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, I cried every day. Every day, all day.
I mean, if that was the worst thing you did, I bet you that's an easy day. I mean, it's tough to deal with you. She probably feels bad for you for crying the whole time, but eventually you'll cry yourself out.
I never wanted to cause any problems. I was a talker, and I cried a lot.
That's not too bad. Not too bad overall. You're not hurting anybody.
Oh, shit. Did you... We hung out earlier this week. Did you see the movie?
I did see the movie.
Oh, okay.
Me and Chris went and both saw the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris one time.
It was solid. The visuals were probably the best part of the movie. But it was a nice little movie. Not too long. Short, wrapped it up. Solid story.
So tell the people, what movie did you go see?
I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. Of course, nostalgia purposes.
Right.
That game was a big part of my life.
Right.
I just love the animated movie and their visuals, and that was a great one altogether.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it like a 7.3, I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We watched a trailer at Chris's house. We watched 2 trailers, and Greg had a great point. I feel like I saw the whole movie just now.
Another thing is, the second trailer that we watched, that trailer is basically the first like 3 minutes of the movie.
Oh.
So, but after that, you get a whole lot after that. Yeah. And the voice is better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah. And they had some nods to the old voices and stuff.
Nice.
So
Nice.
It was so, there was a whole lot of that. Whole lot of that coming.
It's me. Okay, good. So that I don't want to see it because the voice bothered me. We Googled the gentleman who did all the video games. He's still living. He started doing the video games in 1991. And I guess, I don't know when they stopped making those games, but he was the voice every single time. And he's still living. And they could have reached out to him, gave him a nice bag, and had him do the movie.
I think he might have made a cameo at one point. Because it sounded like some of the voices that showed up, it sounded like he might have been one. Right?
Okay. So they voiced Chris Pratt as Mario.
They did.
Which when I saw that, bold choice is a good phrase to say. Because it didn't make any sense to me at all.
I mean, I guess they are relying, because there was a good amount of star actors and actresses in that movie. You had Charlie Kelly, Anna Taylor-Joy,
do you know
Jack
who was,
Black.
I was just about to say, I didn't know he was Bowser until yesterday. I saw a commercial where it had the girl who's Peach. What's her name?
That's Anna Taylor-Joy.
Okay, and then it was like I was like, Jack Black, what's he? And then it was I was like, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think is Sebastian Maniscalco called Luigi?
No, I think Charlie Kelly's Luigi. He might be Toad, or Keegan-Michael Key might be Toad. There are so many
star actors, okay, and actresses. And a nice selection of actors and actresses, but I don't know if they made sense.
Yeah,
especially Chris Pratt. Is he Italian at all?
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all. That's my issue.
That's true.
They could have got. They should have just gave it to the guy who did the voice.
Yeah.
But if you're saying bits and pieces, I get it. But whatever. So I'm probably not going to go see it.
Understandable.
Right. But I like that you enjoyed your experience.
Yeah,
Did you see it in 3D or anything? Was it an
No,
option?
I don't think they offered it in 3D. Because I think it would have been a good one to see in 3D. But just the visuals on the animation alone was good.
Okay. And to keep with the theme of, like, television and cinema and all that stuff, do you watch any Netflix?
I do watch Netflix.
So I don't.
You don't.
I was told by my cousin Alessandro's fiance, Hunter, shout out to Hunter and Alessandro, I was told to watch The Night Agent.
The Night Agent. I saw that's new. That's a new one on there.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
I highly recommend. I watched it in 2 days.
2 days? Went all the way through?
10 episodes. I was off on a Monday. I watched 5 straight, and I didn't get to watch it on the Tuesday. I was with you on the Tuesday.
We were together on Tuesday.
And then I watched 5 more with my dad, and I caught him up as much as I could. And then we watched the rest. But I'm not going to spoil anything, but the background is, it just shows how corrupt the FBI and the CIA and the White House are. But it was well done. Okay. It was like each episode you were like, ooh, what's going to happen next?
I like that. They dig you in. They get you hooked.
Oh, they got me.
That's how they get you.
And how it ends, I don't see a way there's a season 2. And if there is, I will watch it. Yeah. Because season 1 was great.
That's how Netflix gets you, though. They'll put out a great season like that and then cancel it right after that. Then you'll have tons of fans and everything. Man. No next season.
I will say the main woman, her name is Rose in the show. I don't know what her real name is. Chef's kiss. She could be my wife if she wanted to. Okay? I'll treat you like a queen. You just gotta,
You hear that, Rose?
Pay for me to stay at your house and all that stuff, and I'll be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, a great trophy husband right here.
Yo, the floors will be spotless. The dishes will be spotless. You'll get home from your job on set, and there will be dinner ready.
Wow. What more could you ask for?
That's it. I don't know what her real name is. I think it begins with an L. I don't know. I was about to say Luciana. That's my cousin's daughter. I don't know what her real name is.
You're shooting your shot without knowing her name is bold take, but
she's not going to see this. It'd be cool if she does.
Might, though.
She might. I might make it a short clip and DM her and be like, hey, I'm in Pennsylvania. Where are you at?
Trying to come on the pod?
Oh, that would be nuts.
That would be amazing.
That would be nuts. Fun fact, the girl of you saw you, Love, she went to the high school around the corner here.
That's wild.
No, I didn't know that.
I feel like there's a good amount of people from around here that have gone on to become famous.
And then you and me are here just working our rear ends off.
You never know. 10 years from now, people be talking about us that way.
Maybe. Remember episode 56? So you're a philosophical guy.
I am a philosophical guy.
I would really say that. I mean that when I say it.
I'd like to think so.
Here's a question I have for you. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but I want to hear your take.
Okay.
What came first? The chicken or the egg?
That is a tough one. I'm going to say the chicken came first. I mean, there was other eggs out there, but they weren't chicken eggs. And then the chicken came along and laid the first egg.
Okay. All right, we're rocking with that. That's the answer?
Okay. That's what I would think.
Okay. The faith in me says God just threw a chicken down and another chicken and was like, you know what to do now.
Yeah. Make an egg.
That's right. And then the eggs came. Okay, so
you know what they say. You got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
Maybe the truest thing that's ever been said on this show.
I don't know how that relates to it, but that's true.
So I got to put on my glasses because
there we go.
This question came up at my job, and they tried to give a philosophical response.
Interesting.
So, which came first? The chicken or the egg? This question was first posed in ancient Greece, but today quantum physicists think they have the answer. Both can happen at the same time. In the world of quantum mechanics, things can occur in indefinite causal order, meaning that there is no order of cause and effect. Experiments have shown that at the most minute atomic levels, electrons can exist in two places at the same time. Some photons can even act in two manners at once, with both ways happening first. So I'm not going to lie, that just confused me.
That's wild. That's Schrodinger's chicken and egg here. The egg and the chicken are both there and not there.
Yeah, I don't know what
that just brings more questions. I feel
I was gonna say the same. I might be more confused and have more questions than before. I'm rocking with you though. Chicken came first.
Chicken came first
Because of my lord. He dropped it down, and that was that. Damn, he's finishing his glass before me here. Hold on.
The Pinot's going down so smooth right now. Mm-hmm. It's one of those Fridays.
It's right. It's a great Friday. It's not a good Friday.
Not a good Friday. A great Friday. Shout out to the chickens. Thank you.
Speaking of food, because chickens are food.
Chickens are one of my favorite food.
Listen, so we get along well.
We do.
But you like things that I can't even stomach.
That's true.
I'm gonna name a few. Number one, tuna.
That's probably my number one.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is a direct quote from my friend Richie here. We were ordering food somewhere, and he ordered what he ordered, and then he said, "That's probably my go-to no matter what kind of place it is." And what he's talking about was a tuna on a Kaiser roll.
I mean, that's one way to measure a person's food quality. That and chicken parm are the two things. I've had tuna from places I'm not proud to say I had tuna from, but tuna never fails. It's tough to mess up. It comes out of a can,
right?
And it's incredible every time. I like the fancier tuna where you go to sushi and all that, but good old tuna salad, some tuna and mayo.
See, I like mayonnaise.
Yeah,
I don't like tuna.
You throw some spicy mustard on it, it's even better.
I said in my head I had three things prepared. That was second, mustard. Spicy mustard is your favorite?
Spicy mustard is probably my favorite. There's a few things that I like regular yellow mustard on, but if I'm going mustard, it's usually spicy mustard.
I can't.
As a kid, my staple meal used to be just a bologna and mustard sandwich.
Okay.
That was probably I ate that 5 out of the 7 days of the week for lunch.
And what were the other two? Tuna on a Kaiser?
Probably just tuna on white bread. I wasn't fancy enough for Kaiser rolls back then.
Fair. When you would make a sandwich with white bread, would you cut the ends off?
Like the crust?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I used to think I was like allergic to them. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but I hated the ends. Now I don't care about them.
No.
They're part of the sandwich.
Yeah. They definitely taste like a little different, but
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good Uncrustable.
Yeah.
But I'm not. The crust is just more sandwich I can go into my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that.
I hear you. And that third thing on my mind is something that every Lutz that I have ever met is very fond of, and that are pickles.
Oh my God, yes.
Those damn nasty, slimy pickles.
That was one thing from that house, from living with them, that I probably carried over to my new house, where there's always at least like 3 to 4 jars of pickles in the fridge at any time. Some of them might just be pickle juice, which is also good to just take a swig of from time.
What does that do to your stomach right when you take that sip? Anything?
Nothing.
No.
It dehydrates you. It's a lot of sodium in it, so you come out after a workout, just pop in some pickle juice. Also a great chaser for shots. Nice little pickleback. If you take a shot of whiskey and the little pickle juice afterwards, you won't feel anything. No burn or anything.
I just got the chills.
Man,
from
in
saying,
a good way. You're like, yeah.
Oh my God, that just reminded me. I don't remember what the place was called. It was something pork. We went. It was a bar.
Nick's roast beef
or beef. Then whatever. Pork, beef, tomato.
They had a good pork sandwich.
So it was me, you. It was for like an event or somebody. Was it your birthday? There was a whole bunch of your friends there.
Yeah, I think it was for like a beef and beer or something.
Okay, well I was there with Greg. And Chris was there, and you were there. Yeah. Joe was probably there too. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to everybody. Yeah. But Greg's like, "You want a shot?" And I was like, yeah, "I guess, I guess."
If we're doing one,
right? So he says, "Don't smell it."
And why would you say that? I probably wasn't going to smell it in the first place, but now that you say don't smell it, I'm going to smell it.
But so my problem is I trust Greg with my life, right?
Oh, you're a good man.
So I didn't. Because I was like, it probably smells nasty. and he just doesn't want me to
Yeah.
be like, oh,
He's
I
just
can't
looking
do
out
it.
for you.
Right. As soon as it touched my lips, I said, oh my God, that's pickles. And it was a pickle bag. And I can't be rude and disrespectful and spit it out on this bar or on the floor. Because I wouldn't want that done if it was my establishment.
Right.
So I drank it.
That's a champion move.
I was so mad at Greg for the next 10 minutes. I didn't even want to look at him. I didn't want to talk to him. Oh, it was so disgusting. Literally, it was so disgusting. That's the first and only time I ever had a pickleback.
I was actually in that same bar just last week with a different friend, and we did pickleback shots in there. I feel like that's just a thing when we go to that bar.
So what is in a pickleback?
A pickleback shot is usually a shot of Jameson, just Irish whiskey,
Right.
and then you follow it up with a shot of pickle juice.
Ugh.
There was...
Again, I'm getting the chills.
I forget if it was actually on Thanksgiving. I think it might have been, but we were having Thanksgiving dinner at Home Ave with the Lutz family. And Mr. Lutz, shout out to Mr. Lutz,
The best.
the GOAT, he brought over a bottle of Jameson and a huge jar of pickles. And the Eagles were playing that day.
Nice.
So our thing was every time the Eagles scored a touchdown, we had to do a pickleback.
Ew. And we probably scored a lot of touchdowns.
Eagles scored a lot of touchdowns that day. So many, in fact, that we finished the bottle of Jameson.
Wow.
And I was sent out by Mr. Lutz to buy another bottle of Jameson so we could continue doing pickleback. And that was a very sloppy Thanksgiving. One of the best ones I can barely remember.
All right. Oh,
But amazing.
I can't fathom. Yeah, right. You couldn't pay me to do another pickleback. I'm not lying. Like if I have when the Popeyes chicken sandwich was, people were acting like it was gold.
Right.
I went and I got one, and I said no pickles because I don't like pickles, and I know it came with pickles. So I would think they have some without the pickles on it.
Right.
All they did was take the pickles off, and the thing about pickles,
They still leave that juice behind.
oh my God! So it was like they were on there.
That's a perfect chicken sandwich comes with pickles.
No,
Like the
it
Chick-fil-A
doesn't.
sandwich.
Doesn't
The
come with
only-
pickles.
It does.
Oh, it does.
The
I just get it with
standard
no.
one, it's only chicken and pickles. That's all you need.
But you want to know the difference between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A? Is Chick-fil-A has chicken sandwiches that don't have the pickles
Because
on
they'll do whatever you want.
it. Right, they're closed on Sundays.
Yeah, they're the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Chick-fil-A employees.
My pleasure. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna be back tomorrow.
My
pleasure.
old job over in Jersey. Shout out to the Moorestown Chick-fil-A in the Moorestown Shopping Center.
Okay.
Because there was a lady that worked at the drive-thru, and she made me feel like the most special person every time that I ordered Chick-fil-A there.
Ugh.
She's like, "Okay, sweetness, my pleasure." Calling you everything. I was
Sweetness.
like, "What do you want for a tip? Do you want my wallet? Because you can have whatever you want."
You want a jar of pickles?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pickles are so polarizing. You either
No.
love them or people just love pickles or hate pickles.
Up until recently, I thought polarizing was a positive form of endearment. Like if someone called you like a polarizing, like
Like a
you were-
polarizing figure. That
yeah,
was like,
I thought that meant like, oh, he's a real
yeah,
powerful. It's kind of controversial.
yeah, a
Like,
little bit on you either love them or hate them.
Yeah, yeah. Fun fact: the 1 year I did at college, the
The 1 year I did a college.
yeah, I had to do an informative speech.
Oh man,
So the informative speech was no, it was a persuasive speech, and I was persuading people that Michael Vick should be a Hall of Famer,
ooh,
despite
despite
the dog stuff.
yeah, the past transgressions.
And I used the term polarizing, which
Definitely.
made sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it meant what I
You
actually
thought you were
yeah,
hyping him up
yeah,
as a good
yeah.
person,
But it actually
but
makes sense.
yeah, I mean that's a
Yeah.
very great way to describe Michael
Right.
Vick.
Right. So, yeah.
Was that for a public speaking class?
Yep.
Yep, I had
And
that
I
class.
had one,
that
my
was the
public...
most horrifying class that I've ever taken.
Yeah. No, I was very nervous. Like, people probably don't think that because I have a podcast now, but
Yeah.
no one's in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to watch and listen.
This
It's
is a little bit easier because I have
For
one of
sure.
my good friends right
That's
here
right.
that I'm talking to.
That's right.
When I came down to this studio that you have here, I was just the same amount of nervous as I was giving a speech in front of that class.
Mm.
And the very first speech that I did, we had to do a how-to speech, and I did a how to dribble a basketball, and I was like, this is the most basic thing I could do. I did a little dribble, switch hand between the legs.
Okay.
And I did it just going off the top of the head.
Nice.
People were blown away that I didn't use any index cards or anything.
Nice.
But I had to give like 3 more speeches that year, and I had to use index cards for all of them. It was all downhill from that first speech.
I had to do 4 speeches. The one was about Mike Vick. The informative one was that DMX is the greatest of all time. And my teacher ate it up.
Yeah.
And
when you pick something that you love, then you just go off like that.
So easy. So, Michael Vick's my favorite athlete, I think. I think that's fair to say. He's definitely my favorite football player. But, so that was easy. The DMX one was even easier. The one was... Okay, I'm not going to... but yeah, the DMX one, I threw in there was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez, and Alicia. I kept going, and then my teacher was like, he's clapping in the back.
Spitting up here.
Fun fact, my teacher broke a record, and he was on ESPN for the fastest speed walker.
That's incredible.
I swear.
I love watching those videos where they're just pumping their arms.
Dude, he showed us the ESPN clip of talking about him, and I didn't believe him at all. And then he showed it, and I was like, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So he had this, and it was at 8 a.m., my class.
Wow.
So, like, bright and early, I got to do these speeches.
That's right into the Lions pit.
Terrible. Talking about ESPN, there's big UFC fights going on this weekend.
Yeah. Is Adesanya.
Yes, I want to hear your predictions. We usually watch a lot of these fights together.
We do watch a lot of them together. I think we'll be getting them if you want to come to the house.
Hey, now. Yeah, your setup at your new house is a sports fan's dream.
Yeah, we got the bar set up down there.
That's right.
Yeah,
there's like 4 different TVs.
Bachelor pad, and we devoted the basement downstairs to being our own bar with...
And your room's down there on the other side of the wall. Great. You don't have to go anywhere.
No.
Just to the kitchen. So we got Israel Adesanya versus Alex. I don't know how to. It's
Pereira.
Yeah, it's spelled like Pereira. Like anyone would say Pereira, but it's not how you say it.
No. Yeah.
And I don't know how to say it. So let's say Pereira for now.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins? Do you think Izzy avenges the loss, or he takes another one?
I feel like Pereira, or whoever you
let's
say.
Let's say Pereira.
Yeah. I feel like he's the only one that has Izzy's number, but it's so hard to bet against a style bender.
Right.
I mean, he's so good, but I think he does lose again.
So give me a round, or do you think it's a decision? What do you think?
I'm going to say 3rd round TKO.
Okay. All right. Izzy's getting knocked out, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say the ref stops it.
Right. Like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And then their first fight, he KO'd him.
Yeah.
Like stiff.
Yep.
I think I think this loss really motivated him. I do think he's slightly scared of him.
Yeah.
Which might benefit him.
I think Izzy's the better fighter, but
sure.
there's some people that you just can't beat.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something there. I think the fan in me, because I'm a big fan of Izzy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rock with him, and I'm gonna say, you said 3rd round knockout or TKO. I'm gonna say 2nd round TKO. Izzy. I think he's gonna win, and they're gonna do a 3rd because they're gonna have to.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, and go from there. The co-main event is Jorge Masvidal and Gilbert Burns. That one's they're gonna slug it out.
That's gonna be
those are two dudes.
That's gonna be a fight of the night fight right
I think it might be. Yeah, those are 2 dudes who their style is who's gonna knock the other person out. Who do you got in that one?
Haven't watched a whole lot of George Burns, but just
Gilbert.
Sorry, my bad.
You're good. George Burns was the actor.
But Masvidal hasn't fought in a while.
Was his last fight against Usman when he got knocked out?
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Burns.
No, his last fight was Colby.
Colby?
Yeah, and it went 5 rounds. He did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to go Burns. I feel like Masvidal was burning bright at the top of his game, but I think he fell off now.
I think he's a journeyman now.
Yeah.
And he's just getting to the bag. He sells fights because he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, he brings the people in.
That's right. He's a salesman at this point. Mm-hmm. You have a prediction, or you think he just wins like
I'm going to say 4th round knockout.
Okay. All right.
Is it a 5-rounder?
It might be. I'm not sure. It's definitely not for a title.
Yeah. If it goes 3 rounds, I say he goes the distance.
Okay.
If it's a 5-rounder,
Fourth round knockout. Okay. Ooh, I like it. We're getting real specific. I'm gonna go second round knockout, but I'm going Gilbert. Like, Jorge's gonna be stiff.
Yeah.
I do like Jorge though. Like, I want him to win.
Yeah.
I do want him to win, but I don't see it happening. I think like you said, his
best days are behind him.
Yep. Unfortunately. Okay. And then that 18-year-old kid, I don't know what his name is. I just know he's 18.
Yeah, yes.
He's Mexican.
Yes, I remember his last fight.
Yeah, and I bet on his last fight.
Yeah.
He was a major underdog.
A major underdog.
And
he looked great.
Yeah, he did. I'm rocking with him. I want him to succeed. I really do.
That was my first time ever seeing him, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
big
same.
Fan.
I hope he wins. I can't remember what his name is.
I can't remember.
I just know he's Mexican and he's 18 years old. Yeah. So we're rocking with him.
Man's a high schooler just rocking people.
Right. Are you going to have any bets in? Because you're not anymore. You don't bet. But
I've slowed down a little bit. I have a few bets on here and there stuff. The Masters is going this weekend. Okay. I have some money locked up in the Masters, so I probably won't get too deep in the UFC. But I might sprinkle a little something. Nothing too crazy. Maybe $25.
Okay. For me, that's a big bet.
Yeah.
I like to do the low ones with the high reward.
Yes.
Like a 5 for like 200 sounds great.
Yeah.
A 3 for 100 sounds even, I like that. I get crazy though, and I do the $1 where the payout is 1,000.
Yeah, I'm
I love
always
those
down
ones.
for a wild parlay.
I love those ones. So you had a bet for Joel Embiid to win the MVP, right?
I do have a bet for Joel Embiid to win the MVP.
And we watched the game on Tuesday against the Celtics, and before the game started, you said he's dropping a 50-piece to seal the MVP.
Yes, I was trying to put that out in the air. I said a 50-piece and the win against the Celtics here would be great for the MVP race.
And the law of attraction, because we did just that. We almost lost the game.
Almost lost it. I was shaking in my boots at the end.
Me too. Well, we got the job done. Joel literally scored half of the points.
He did.
And I think it's undoubtedly... I don't think you can... This season, he's been the most dominant player.
Yeah, I feel like all the storylines line up.
Yeah.
I hope that this last week that they have, I think they have 1 or 2 more games left. I hope they don't hold that against him. It doesn't, but I feel like that game pretty much locked it up for him.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I think he deserved it.
Yeah.
He really does. He should have got it last year, but this season, he really should get it. And he will be the first MVP since Iverson, right?
Yeah.
In all of Philly sports? Is he the last MVP to win?
Bryce Harper.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I had a bet for him.
Good. So when you bet on the MVPs, they win.
Yeah.
Interesting. Shout out to the Phillies. They won today. I had a great
home opener.
Dude, I had a great parlay. I don't think it hit. Everything hit, but I needed Real Muto to get a double. Do you know if he did? I know he hit a homer, and I know he got another hit.
You took him to hit a double?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I mean...
like I would do like 2 or more bases, like you could do that, and the home run would have counted.
I wanted the double.
Yeah, you wanted the double. The
odds are nice.
I like you. I
had
like
a free $5 bet.
You always go crazy.
It was a 7-leg.
Yeah,
6 of them I for sure happened. I had Wheeler strikeouts. I had Turner 2 runs. He scored 2 runs. Schwarber had a hit. Everything hit. The only one I didn't know because I wasn't watching the game
is Romita double.
Yeah, I know he hit a homer.
This the blood pumping. You go check the FanDuel account and see if there's money in there.
Yeah, if there is, it's gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
No, it's a great day already.
Oh yeah, it's great Friday.
So the UFC just purchased the WWE.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
What is it called? Endeavor is the
Endeavor Group is the ticker, on their stock.
Yeah, and this is a little sidebar, but just because we're talking about the WWE, did you see Vince McMahon's new look where he looks like
with the mustache
villain in a Mexican soap opera out here? I don't know what the man's thinking.
No, is that because he's oh boy, took it down, huh?
Thank you.
Is that because he's coming up on money or what?
I don't know what's going through that guy's head.
The bottle's gone, folks. To the cleaners.
Polished off.
That's right. Yeah, the look is crazy because he's like in his 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You haven't had facial hair your entire life.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
That's what I feel like he just had, like,
money.
He's got, I mean, big time money. He's always had money.
Yeah.
But I feel like he had like a little bit, I can't call it a midlife crisis.
Right.
But I feel like he went into retirement, realized that he doesn't know what to do with himself without it. Because I feel like ever since he sold it, I've been reading online that he's much more involved again and has taken over the show.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know?
I mean, with the choices that he's making for himself and the hair and everything, right. I can't say it's a good thing.
So I Googled what he bought the WWF originally for. Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, so in 1982, he bought the WWF for $1 million.
What a great investment.
And in 2023, he's selling the WWE for $9.3 billion. Talk about a come up.
Wow.
Yeah, and my thing, we kind of talked about this on Tuesday. What is the point of the UFC buying them, though? You know what I mean? Like, what do they plan to do with the WWE?
Because I saw right before this, there was talks of WWE trying to get
Saudi. Oh, go ahead.
They were trying to get on the betting platform so that you could bet on the WWE.
Oh, I did see that.
And how are you supposed to bet on a scripted match?
Right. You would have to like actually watch week in and week out, and then be like, because sometimes you can predict.
They already know before who's going to win.
Right. Right. But I guess for you as the bettor, you would have to watch and be like, okay, they're going to run with Stone Cold's going to win. You know what I mean? And then go and just hope that they don't do any bull.
Yeah, I feel like there's too much opportunity for controversy there.
Yeah, I would never bet on the WWE.
No, absolutely not.
You could never do it because, like you said, they could change it in the instant.
The time I bet, they're gonna switch up the script on me, and then
I've actually watched an interview from the '90s wrestlers where during the match they would make a decision in the back based off of the crowd.
How the crowd was reacting?
And they would tell the ref in his ear, and the ref would whisper to them like, "All right, Rich, you're gonna win tonight."
Yeah.
And then everything, like the two of them are like, "Oh, well, I was supposed to be champ." And then in the ring, you're like, "Okay, well, you gotta hit me with your finisher," and go from there. So like they could do that. Yeah. They could see you put $1 million on the one guy and be like, you know what?
Too much money on here.
Let's ruin his life. And I would never do that.
Yeah, and especially you don't know how it goes. Like my one roommate's a big WWE guy, so he watched WrestleMania this one weekend. Shane McMahon was in the fight, jumped over a guy, tore his quad.
Oh, his quad? I thought it was his ACL. Was his quad?
I thought it was his ACL. He was saying his quad.
Oh, okay. So that
something about the McMahon. Vince McMahon tore both his quads one time jumping in the ring.
I was watching that. So that was 2005. So I was still like in it. That was on live pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Came down the runway.
Just jumping into the ring.
Entered the ring. Both quads. How do you tear both?
I don't know.
Oh, and then he gave whatever promo he was doing sitting down.
He was the special guest referee trying to judge it, and my man's just leaning up against the ropes.
That was a Royal Rumble. It was Batista and John Cena at the end. And then there was controversy because they both fell out.
Yep, exactly.
And I wanted Batista to win so bad. I hated John Cena early in the days. I liked him because he was like he was the doctor of thugonomics. He was rapping, and I was like, ooh, I like this guy. But then I didn't like him.
I'm so surprised how many of them turned their careers into acting from WWE. Like, I feel like The Rock was the first one to really do it.
The biggest, for sure.
The biggest star.
Right.
But John Cena makes great comedy movies and stuff. Batista makes great movies. He got involved in the Marvel Universe.
Right.
But I just watched Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan movie, and Batista is one of the main people in that. I mean, it wasn't a great movie. It was a bit weird, but
he got paid.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan.
He's a big star in Hollywood. But for sure, The Rock is probably, if he's not the biggest right now, he's one of.
I think he's the most paid right now.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a fact, too. Like, he demands a certain amount of money every time, which is nuts. But, yeah, it's crazy that he started in WWF and has become one of Hollywood's biggest actors. But, like, I think Stone Cold was in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena, like you said. He was in The Longest Yard.
Yeah, he was definitely in The Longest Yard.
I
feel like he was the villain in one like the Marine or something. John Cena was in one like that. And I feel like the second movie like that might have been like straight to DVD.
John Cena was in 12 Rounds. He was in The Marine. He was the star there. But Stone Cold was in the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Untouchables.
Yes.
He's
yeah.
maybe the second one.
The Expendables.
The Expendables.
Yeah, with all the older guys.
Here. Yeah, so he was in that. He was definitely in another movie I can't think of. But, Kane was in the movie. Kane had See No Evil. I remember that.
That's true.
Dude, the WWE and F was a great alley if you wanted to go into Hollywood.
True.
Were you a big WWF guy when you were young?
When I was young and like the Attitude Era and stuff, I was huge. Kane, Undertaker, those guys, I was real big into it.
Who's your favorite? Like, let's say...
Back in the day, Kane was my favorite. Masked Kane was my guy.
Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, the fire, the ring, and everything.
I believed that his face was burned. I really did. I was like, yo, he doesn't want to show how bad his face is. That's why he's got the mask on.
I can't tell you how many choke slams I've done to my brothers over the years, but it is,
and they're all devastating.
At least in the triple, if not 4-digit long.
The neighbor on my street. So he was a few years younger than me. We would set up the couch where like we'd lift up the bottom cushion and then get another one to make it like a fort.
Yeah.
And I would choke slam him through it. Oh, it was electric.
Set it up like a table.
Yes, it was electric. Oh, it was great. Stone Cold was definitely my favorite, but I loved Kane. I was scared of Kane, but I loved, like, he was badass. Loved The Undertaker. The Undertaker used to scare my sister. And I was like, just what? Because he rolls his eyes, and then I would do it, and she'd be freaked out. So I liked The Undertaker. I liked Kane. I definitely believe they were brothers.
Yeah.
Definitely. But definitely Stone Cold was my favorite. I used to yell at my dad because he would be like, it's fake, right? And I'm like, no, it's not. They're really bleeding.
It's real to me, goddammit.
What's crazy is that they would cut themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to think like it would be like a patch or something.
That's what I thought, too. The little razor blade.
Yeah, that's even more nuts.
Yeah.
Just a quick little gash across the forehead.
You see it in like that movie, The Wrestler, with Mickey Rourke. He goes out there and he's just slicing himself up.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Wild.
Crazy. The UFC's crazy for buying it. $9 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just bought for $4 billion. And that's what Conor McGregor was saying. He was like, I'm worth $4 billion because he was saying that he was the whole company.
He is the whole company.
But oh, man. Let me, I think it's
a little riddle time?
It might be time for the riddle.
We'll check in on our clock, see where we're at now.
That's right.
I've only done, me and Chris did a podcast together with one of our other friends.
Yeah. A long time ago, right?
Yeah. It was like 5 to 7 years ago or something.
Oh.
We hit like 3 hours and it felt like nothing. Because it was me and Chris on one side, and they had 2 people like that were hosting on the thing on the other side.
And it was good?
It was good, but I feel like we were just shooting the shit like this, and then we talked about like nothing, and it was 2.5 hours later.
Fair. Okay. So we're definitely, this is the part where, it comes down to nitty gritty. So you did get last week's riddle?
I did get frostbite. I had
amazing.
That like that.
That's
that instantly came to my head. I'm surprised that Greg. I mean, when you have the spotlights on you,
it's
and
tough.
you got the nervousness going, your brain doesn't make the same connections. But
it's fair.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the show, my favorite part of the show, that we call Riddles with Vito.
With Vito.
That's right. Okay, so here's the one I got for you. Here we go.
All right.
You're a very intelligent man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see what you got. Take one out and scratch my head. I am now black, but once was red. What am I?
You are a match.
Yo, the quickest. Absolutely. I didn't even have to repeat it. Holy shit. Holy shit. I am flabbergasted.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
I don't know what to say here. Yo, I didn't even give the viewers and listeners didn't even have a chance to think.
I'm sorry, I should have waited for dramatic effects.
No,
right
that
there.
was even better. Holy shit. Take one out and scratch my head. I am now black, but once was red. Oh, man. This guy.
I'm so happy I got it. I was so nervous.
No, you said it when we greeted each other. Oh, man, you were like, oh, I'm nervous for the riddle. Oh, man. No, I said at the beginning of the show, this man was intelligent, he's wise. I meant it. Wow. I'm starting to think maybe that was an easy one, but I don't think so. I think you were just very smart.
You know?
Let me delete it.
Get that one out there.
Holy moly! Let me put the shades back on so I can get back into character. Holy! Wow! You heard it here.
Heard there.
You heard it here. Oh man, Richie didn't tell you he didn't come and play. You know? Oh, let me finish this wine.
The vibrations are immaculate.
One and done. I didn't even have a chance. Like, I had just finished saying it. He said, a match. Golly. Folks, I hope you enjoyed yourself. We did the same.
I certainly enjoyed myself.
I appreciate you. We did not have any technical difficulties, which is great.
No, the lights were amazing.
Bright.
Bright. Flashing, no flashing.
That's right. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed, change it. All you need is a Gmail account. It's free. I'm not asking for any money. Just press the subscribe button.
One click. Easy as that.
That's it. Send it to your friends. Send it to anybody you want. I would appreciate it. We're on Apple. We're on Google. We're on Spotify. Google Podcasts, excuse me, not just Google. But you can Google me. I'll come up.
Google.
Yeah, find me on TikTok, Instagram, Vibrations of Vito. Episode 56 was a lot of fun. Shout out to Rich. Anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for having me.
Boom.
And don't trust everything you see.
No, only believe half of what you see. My man, for real, don't believe everything at all. Don't believe anything. Question everything.
Everything.
Ciao for now.